What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you hopping on for the live Sunday night football breakdown. Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens. Thursday night when we did this, we went 3-1. This data matters. This data works. Let's talk about it. Let's break into the Buffalo Bills defense before anything else, though. Again, if you guys are watching on TikTok right now, you can go to my profile, click the link in my bio, and join the YouTube live stream to see me break this data down. Let's share our screen real quick, and we will get into it. So we're going to start Buffalo Bills defense, Baltimore Ravens offense first. And again, if you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. This stuff works. It's helped a lot of people out with the parlays, with the fantasy start sits, with the projections. It's been real good to us, and I want to make sure you guys benefit from that as well. So let's start with the Buffalo Bills defense. The first thing we always look at, right, is target rates. Target rates. So the wide target rate allowed by the Buffalo Bills is very low, and I've talked about this a bunch. It's the reason we've benched all these players. Second worst in the NFL. So wide target rate, 30.6%, second worst. All right, and then we can go look at the slot target rate, which is really high. If you guys have watched any of my Bills breakdowns, you know that it's very high. Is it the second in the NFL right now? So Buffalo Bills, second highest slot target rate in the NFL at 43.2%. We knew that was coming, right? Again, if you guys are on TikTok right now, I am breaking down Sunday Night Football data live for your parlays, your fantasy teams on YouTube. Just click the link in my bio. You got to be subscribed over there, obviously, but click the link in my bio. Come watch me do that. You can see the numbers I'm looking at too. Second highest slot target rate in the NFL. Again, thought that was coming. Kind of, worked that a little bit with the Christian Kirk play last Monday night, right? That was really good for us. We like that a lot. Inline target rate, probably middle of the pack if I had to guess. 17th. So inline 17th highest at, 10.8. Not a big number. Back, my guess is they're also probably closer to the top. No, 19th highest. So back is 19th highest. So when you look at where the Buffalo Bills are targeted offensively, or when they're on defense, but other offenses target them, it's slot. It's slot. We've talked about that. That's why Christian Kirk had such a big game last week, and we were all over that last week. Let's talk target rates for the Baltimore Ravens now. So when we break down this data, guys, we look at the target rates for the defense first, because ultimately what they play will dictate where the offense goes, and then we look at what the offense does in response to that. So this is advanced receiving offense. Let's check wide target rates for Baltimore. Probably pretty low if I had to guess. Fourth lowest in the NFL. So Baltimore, fourth lowest wide target rate at 30.9. So when we look at this data, guys, now we know Baltimore, one, doesn't throw the ball out wide, and two, Buffalo doesn't allow targets to go out wide. That's how it goes. So I will tell you, stay away from that. If you had to do any type of player projection for a receiver on the Baltimore Ravens offense, stay away. Last night we were 3-1. If you guys did miss that, we were 3-1. The Devin Singletary thing kind of screwed us. We should have gone receiving, but even if we didn't, we would have been a yard short. Devin Singletary, but Dowdle, Neighbors, and Brandon Aubrey were all great. So like that a lot. Good stuff out of us. Let's look slot target rate for Baltimore. My guess it's probably the highest. So this is a big Zay Flowers game for me, guys, right off the bat. Zay Flowers game. So 40.7, that's the fourth highest in the NFL. We'll check slot target rates after this to make sure it is fully Zay Flowers, though. Inline and back is probably low if I had to guess. Inline. Oh, did I miss him? Whoa, okay, so inline target rate is actually pretty high for the Baltimore Ravens. That's good to know. It is the ninth highest in the NFL, 12.3%. In line. So that is a decent lean if we can see a tight end running a lot of routes from the slot, which my guess would be Isaiah likely in that case. But that is the ninth highest in the league. And then back target, it's probably decent because they have Justice Hill. 19th highest. Not good. At 16%. So looking at the Bills coverage data, the thing that immediately sticks out is the slot wide receiver. It's Zay Flowers against that coverage. Zay Flowers against the Buffalo Bills defense that, again, pushes everything inside. Did they change that this week? I don't think so. The Sean McDermott defense has been real good so far. I like Zay Flowers a lot. That is where I'm going to lean in the Baltimore offense for right now. But let's check out some run scheme data too. That stuff obviously matters as much, if not more. Buffalo's run defense has been pretty good from what I remember and what I understand. So I will make sure wrong thing. I will make sure we dive a little bit deeper into that. And as always, if you guys are on TikTok right now, you don't know what we're doing. We're breaking down Sunday Night Football data live on YouTube. Click the link in my bio to join the live stream and watch. Obviously, just make sure you're subscribed. But right now, Zay Flowers looks real good. Let's look at the Buffalo Bills rush defense. I got to get my head away from this. How do I do that? There we go. Okay. Look at the Buffalo Bills rush defense. Like I said, off the top of my head, it's pretty good. Overall yards per carry, they are. Oh, interesting. Overall yards per carry, Buffalo Bills are the 11th worst in the NFL. Okay, so we know that now, right? We know that. Where do we look in terms of the data when it comes to schematic advantages? So here, zone concept is a defense, right? Zone concept defense, really good. Really, really good. So Buffalo Bills are the fifth or sixth. Let me do this quick. The sixth best versus zone. And let's see if there's any big difference in the attempts they faced. Okay, so they faced less zone. Teams aren't running zone on them as much. Man gap is probably going to be pretty solid too, though, right? How the hell does that make any sense? And then 12th best, 11th best versus 12th best versus man gap. Now, truthfully, I don't know what the Ravens run more of. I'm going to look at that. My guess is it's probably a little more zone, but 4.37 yards per carry in man gap. And then in zone, it's 3, right? It's 3.13 yards per carry. So they do a real good job against zone. But let's go look at the Ravens offense now. And then we'll look at the Ravens route participation after this. But Ravens offense, in terms of the run game, I'm fascinated. Like I said, my guess is it's more zone just because of the quarterback option game. They're second in the NFL in overall rush yards. We know that. Yep. Okay, so interesting. Ravens are the best in the NFL when it comes to zone at 6.09 yards per carry. Again, that's largely due to Lamar. This is not just Derrick Henry. It's largely due to Lamar. But it's dead even in terms of attempts. It's 43 man gap and it's 43 zone attempts so far this year. Now, man gap, they are 7th best in the NFL at 5.53 yards per carry. Good success rate too. So they'll lean on that a little bit more. Are they top 10 in success rate? Okay, maybe. No, they are top 10 in success rate. Okay, so regardless, Ravens, what this data means now, Ravens are very efficient on the ground. Buffalo's really good on the ground. Unstoppable force meets an immovable object. For me in the parlay world, I stay the hell away. But in terms of fantasy stuff, they feel like they have an advantage. Probably the Baltimore Ravens do, probably on the ground. It's not like they're going to get away from Derrick Henry. And I think this game is going to be close. I don't think either team is significantly better than the other. I think the Bills are a better team, but I don't think they're significantly better than the Baltimore Ravens. So it'll be close. I'd be shocked if they had to abandon the run. Let's look at Ravens route participation really quick. My guess is we're going to find that it's Zay Flowers running the routes from the slot, but I'm fascinated to see which tight end does it more, because I think we could get a little bit of a lean there as well. As always, if you guys are enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. And if you're on TikTok watching right now, click the link in my bio and join the YouTube live to watch me break down this data live. Okay, so let's go Baltimore Ravens route data. This is up on the screen, right? Yep, okay. Ooh, look at this, guys. I was wrong. Mark Andrews runs the most routes from the slot on the Baltimore Ravens. How about that? Wow. Interesting. So Zay has 32. Wow. It might be a Mark Andrews week, guys. 27 for likely. And then next receiver is Aguilar. Okay. Aguilar with 13. Let's see if that like data trend has changed in the past week. So we can go look at just week 3 now. I know Mark Andrews didn't run any routes. They barely ran routes to begin with. Okay, so Andrews ran one route from the slot last week. That's interesting. So definitely will make note of that. 1 in week 3 for Andrews. Let's look at week 2. Because my thing now is if we can get a consistent read on where Zay Flowers is running his routes from, I'd feel more confident. But I think Andrews' projections are just going to be low. Okay, so Zay is consistent again. I don't think the tight ends were part of the plan last week in terms of the pass game, or as much of a plan as they would have been. They will be this week, though. Week 1, Andrews again. Wow. Okay, so we have consistent output from Zay Flowers in terms of his slot routes, but Mark Andrews weeks 1 through 2 was the leading slot route guy. So gonna do a little more research on that. As always, guys, my full picks will be on my Instagram and on my Twitter. If you're not following, make sure you do. Gonna do a little bit of research on that, but right now, early leans. Right now, Zay Flowers, number 1, I will say. And then Mark Andrews, number 2. Mark Andrews, number 2. All right. Let's go over to the other side. Let's look at this Baltimore defense versus Buffalo offense. Again, this is going to be the unstoppable force meets immovable object in terms of the run game. So I'm pumped to see this. But again, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If you're on TikTok right now, click the link in my bio and join the YouTube live so you can see me break down this data. It'll be live this afternoon, Friday afternoon for you guys to see. So you have a couple days to sit with it. But make sure you guys are watching this live so you can get a little bit of an early beat on this. I know you guys want it. So let's go advanced receiving defense. Let's go Baltimore defense. So target rates for the Baltimore defense. I'm fascinated to see. They, again, allow the most receiving yards in the NFL. We know this. But my guess is it would probably be slot stuff. Okay, so they don't allow targets out wide or as many. So target rate, Baltimore Ravens defense, 9th lowest out wide at 33.6%. Slot, middle of the pack, 15th lowest. Slot at 33 points. Is that right? They're both 33.6. Okay, interesting. Tight end, inline tight end target rate, middle of the pack, 16th at tight end, 10.9%. So it's got to be running back, right? Yeah, okay. So 4th highest running back rate target in the NFL. Okay, interesting. So 4th highest out of the backfield. That is definitely something to note. 20% of the opposing targets come out of the backfield. Now let's go look at the Buffalo Bills pass offense and where that goes. Andrew's projection right now, 4 for 31. I like that 31 number. I'm not going to lie. I do like that 31 number. Let's go to Buffalo Bills pass offense, receiving offense. Again, if you guys are on TikTok right now, make sure you click the link in my bio and join the YouTube live to break down some of these Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens numbers. To be honest with you guys, I'm just fascinated to see what the back target is. We'll do that last, but out wide target for Buffalo Buffalo probably really low, right? Yeah, lowest in the NFL. Okay, so they're not going out wide. Keon Coleman, sorry, brother. This is not going to be a Keon Coleman day. So 26.5, worst in the NFL. Any other data we need? Nope. Okay. Slot, probably pretty high if I had to guess. 10th highest slot. Okay. That's definitely an interesting place to look, though, because Baltimore's middle of the pack when it comes to that and tight end. And that's where Josh Allen loves to throw the ball. He's successful there. So 10th highest at 36.8. Inline target rate, probably pretty low if I had to guess. Okay, 15th highest. Nothing really to write home about there. 15th highest at 10.3%. Back rate. Oh, here we go, baby. Oh my gosh. Wow, look at this, guys. 26.5% of the Buffalo Bills targets go to the opposing or go to their running backs. Wow. So that's the lean. That is the pass game lean. So anybody on the YouTube right now, do me a favor. Go check out James Cook's projections. Actually, don't do that just yet. Let's look at routes really quick. I'll go look at James Cook because he's going to run routes. But like, I want to see now how often the Buffalo Bills are getting other players out of the backfield because they do it a lot. It's Cook. Ty Johnson's got a lot, man. Ty Johnson's got 21 routes out of the backfield. Wow. That's really good though. That's a really, really solid lean right now. Okay, so routes. Out wide, slot, inline, back. Cook, 31. Ty, 21. Why'd I do a comma? And then Ray Davis, 6. Let's see what that looked like last week, though. It probably was a little inflated towards Ty Johnson because the Bills were winning by so much, if I had to guess. I think we got to take it with a grain of salt. No, not slot. Still 13-8 Cook. But was it closer in other weeks, I guess? That's what we got to look at. Week 2 was Buffalo, Miami. Another blowout, though, so that's tough. 8-6 Cook. Week 1, 10-7 Cook. So it's mainly Cook, and it's pretty consistently mainly Cook. So Cook is definitely the backfield guy we look at. What are Cook's 18.5 receiving yards? Like, I like that a lot. What about his receptions? I like receptions too. If it's 2.5, like, I feel decently comfortable with that. Inline routes, it's not more Knox than Kincaid, okay. But they don't really throw there. So, like, Curtis Samuel 2. Slot is probably going to be Shakir and Kincaid, if I had to guess. Shakir, Kincaid. Okay, Shakir with 47. And that's 83% of his routes are from the slot. So any slot guys, if we want to lean there, it's going to be Shakir for sure. And then Kincaid at 32. And then out wide, just generally speaking, guys we're going to stay away from. It's Coleman and Matt Collins. Yeah, MVS, I guess, too. But Keon Coleman at 53. Wow, he only runs routes out wide too. Hollins at 36. Okay, so right now we're gonna look at the run scheme data too, but right now, guys, James Cook receiving 3.5. It's a lot. I kind of like the receiving yards for James Cook more, but let's talk rush defense and rush offense because again, this is where I'm fascinated to see because like I look at James Cook right now. So here's where my mind is at for anybody watching. We just looked at that data. Everything says James Cook receiving, James Cook receiving, James Cook receiving. Oh, okay. So 3.5 targets, 2.5 receptions. Okay. I might lean 2.5 receptions. I'm not going to lie. But regardless, everything there looks receiving. I have had more success betting rushing and receiving than I have just receiving or just rushing with backs, unless they're like a non-pass catching back or a non-rushing back like Justice Hill, like something like that. Cook does both. So I think if we can get a lean with the Bills man gap stuff, because I know they run a lot of man gap, and the Ravens man gap run defense, we may go scrimmage yards for Cook. Let's go into that data right now, though. Let's check that out real quick. So we have the rushing defense for the Buffalo Bills. Baltimore Ravens, excuse me. I believe they're first in the NFL in rush yards per game. 50 rush teams don't look at this, guys. Teams don't run the ball on the Baltimore Ravens. They feel like they have an advantage through the secondary or through the air. That's crazy. That's insane. 75 less attempts than anybody else. Wow, it's crazy. Okay, Buffalo Bills against zone 2.43. I don't even think it's worth looking, but we're going to. Zone 2.43 allowed. That's third best in the NFL. And they have faced more man gap than zone, I guess. Yeah, 3 more. I mean, they're good again. Yeah, like they're second in the NFL in man gap at 2.75. Like, I'm probably just gonna stay away. I'm gonna be fully honest with you guys. Let's go look at the Bills. See what they do. See what Cook does. But like, you guys know, unstoppable force meets immovable object in a primetime game. I'm probably just gonna stay away. Buffalo Bills zone. I think it could be low on this list. 15th lowest. Okay, so zone 15th lowest for the Bills at 3.81, 37. Wow, so they got more zone than man gap through 3 weeks. Interesting. Good to know. But man gap, they're successful. I know that. 4.55. Wow. Okay, so comparatively, they're not as successful. Interesting. Huh. 4.55, 19th lowest. And they have 33 of those attempts. Interesting. So Buffalo Bills run outs. I'm staying away. Teams don't run the ball against the Baltimore Ravens anyway, so staying away. Right now, though, guys, the lean has to be James Cook receiving yards. It absolutely has to be. Yeah, James Cook receiving yards probably our best bet right now. And then on the other side, we'll talk about that here. But we can go back into that. So running through the data one more quick time for you guys. Again, I appreciate you guys hopping on. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Click the link in my bio if you're on TikTok, YouTube, whatever it may be, to check out the other socials, but subscribe if you're new on YouTube. So synopsis, Buffalo defense does not allow targets out wide. We've talked about that since literally August. And their average in terms of inline and running back targets, but ton of slot targets. And the Ravens pretty heavily lean towards the slot in the pass game. So you automatically would think that Zay Flowers, and yes, he runs a lot of slot routes, but overall, it's actually Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has the most slot routes on the Baltimore Ravens, but he only ran, I think, 4 total routes and 1 from the slot last week. I don't think the tight ends were part of the pass game plan last week. That's my thing. But the early leans here, Zay Flowers, number 1 receiving, Mark Andrews, number 2 receiving. Run scheme data on the other side, like Bills run defense is really good. Baltimore run offense is really good. Like I said, unstoppable force, immovable object, get the hell out. And then the Baltimore defense against the Buffalo offense. Baltimore defense pretty heavily lets you check the ball down. The Bills offense throws in the slot and they throw to the backfield. That's pretty much it. But the highest in the NFL to the backfield. So again, I love James Cook. I love James Cook receiving. Looked at the run D. Staying away of that too, but James Cook receiving yards. So James Cook receiving yards, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews receiving. We'll look catches or yards as time goes on. All of that stuff will be posted on my Instagram at Lobes Leads if you guys aren't following on there already. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you hopping on. Again, if you're new, make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and give me a comment with your best pick for Sunday Night Football. I appreciate you guys again. God bless, and we'll see you next time.